Hi there, this is Love Johar. Thank you so much for tuning into this video and thank you so much for watching this channel. Very important concept for GDPR, Article 3, Territorial Scope. What is the territorial scope of GDPR? Okay. What all organizations have to comply with GDPR? Organization established in the European Union, organizations offering goods and services, or organizations who are monitoring the behavior of people in EU, wherever member state law applies. Okay, this is the territorial scope of GDPR. We will discuss more about this, what all organizations come into play, what all business activities come into play, and what are the EU citizens goods and services being offered to them. If that is the case, what is the territorial scope? Very important. If some companies are watching monitoring behavior of people, then also it is applicable. Member state law, then also it is applicable. So stay tuned. This is very important video for you, especially from an interview perspective also, and more from an understanding perspective if you are trying to learn more about GDPR. Okay, so stay tuned and watch till the end. Thank you. So here you can take a snapshot of the screen. It has the legal text, all the legalities regarding Article 3 from GDPR's perspective. Take a screen, you can read that later on. What all is being discussed in this text is being relayed over here. So you can here easily understand Article 3.1, Article 3.2 and Article 3.3. Okay. So Article 3.1 states that all the organizations that have establishment in the European Union, GDPR applies to them. All the organizations who are offering goods and services to people in the EU, GDPR applies to them. All the organizations who are monitoring the behavior of people in the EU, GDPR again applies to them. Any sort of member state law, if applicable, where the organization is working, then also GDPR applies to that. Okay. So after that, it states that establishment in the European Union, if a company or organization that collects and uses personal data has an office, store, or any kind of business presence in the EU, the GDPR rules apply to them. Very easy to understand. It doesn't matter if the actual data processing is happening inside or outside the EU. Okay. So, for example, if you have an e-commerce company in the European Union, but the e-commerce website is being hosted in Japan, or let's say China, then it doesn't matter where the actual data processing is happening, GDPR will still be applicable. Okay. After that, it says, for example, an online store having physical office is in Paris need to follow GDPR rules, even if processing data outside European Union. Okay. So I hope this is very clear. Any organization offering goods or services in the European Union needs to abide with GDPR. If a company is not based in the EU but offers goods or services to people within the European Union, then the GDPR applies to them too. Okay. Now, for example, if company is based in Japan or China, but they are offering goods to people in the European Union, then again GDPR is applicable to them. Okay. This also includes situations where the services are free. This is very important to understand from basic understanding and from a GDPR compliance perspective. If the services are free, if the goods are free, then also GDPR is applicable. Okay. So it is not only a case where there are financial transactions being made, there is also a case where the services are being offered for free. GDPR is again applicable there as well. Okay. After that, you have an example where a US-based social media app is available for use by the people in the European Union. This app needs to be compliant with the GDPR rules, even if the app does not have any physical, space or physical office where it is being hosted in the European Union. Okay. But since it is being consumed by people in the European Union, it needs to comply with the GDPR rules. So in the red text also, it is clearly written, application needs to follow GDPR if services are offered in the Europe. Okay. After that, you have monitoring behavior of people in the European Union. If any organization tries to monitor the online behavior of people within the European Union, Then again, they have to follow GDPR rules. For example, if any website is trying to track what the European citizens are actually browsing, what all they are browsing throughout the website, they are tracking their behavior, what sort of items are they listing, what are they doing on the website. If any sort of monitoring is being happening and they are tracking the online behavior of European citizens, then they have to follow GDPR as well. Okay. For example, in case of a data analytics organization which is located in the US, if they are tracking the online activities of users who are located in the European Union countries, again they must comply with GDPR rules. Okay. Last but not the least, we have member state laws. Okay. So what member state law states is, even if an organization isn't in the European Union, if it is processing personal data in a place where the laws of European Union member states apply, the GDPR still applies. Okay. For example, a medical research organization located in the US conducts a medical study in collaboration with the universities in Germany. Since the study is conducted under the laws of Germany, which falls under an EU member state, so GDPR rules apply to the data processing facility during the study as well. Okay. Similarly, GDPR is applicable for an organization based in a country that has a treaty or agreement with the EU member state, which makes EU laws again applicable. Okay. So this is also very important to understand. Last but not the least, we have to make sure that we understand all these 5 points very carefully and clearly, so that we understand the whole GDPR Act together. So number one, it says, if the establishment of a controller or a processor in the European Union, then GDPR is applicable. If they are active in the European Union by offering goods or services or monitoring the behavior, then also GDPR is applicable. Second says, an establishment does not need to be a separate legal entity in the European Union. It may also be just an office or other form of activity in the Union. Okay. Third says, only placement of data processing equipment in the European Union is not an establishment, as there is no human activity. Okay. So here it tries to distinguish between what do we mean by establishment. Okay. So in the third point, please see very carefully. It says only placement of data processing equipment in the European Union is not an establishment, because there is no activity with the data processing equipment. It's only being placed there. Okay. Then there is no establishment. So it's not applicable there. Okay. After that, it says the application of the GDPR is not dependent on the citizenship of data subjects. It is also applied to non-citizens located in the European Union. So here it says one important thing again. If the citizen is not actually a part of the European Union, is not a member citizen, but is actually being living there, and as a non-resident, as a non-citizen, and living in European Union, then also is basically applicable. Okay, because it is also applied to non-citizens who are located in European Union as well. So if you are residing in European Union, whether you are a citizen or a non-citizen, it doesn't matter. Okay, it will apply. After that, it says GDPR will be applicable even if goods or services are offered for free in the European market. This point we have already discussed. Anything, if it being offered even for free, GDPR is applicable. This is it that I wanted to cover in this particular article, GDPR. Anything else that you are following under this article in your organization or as per your past experience, please feel free to add in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to hear that. And as always, any questions, please feel free to add in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.